Hello, I hope you're well. My name's Jack, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing and review of the Sontronics Podcast Pro microphone. Okay, so here's the box for the Podcast Pro. Unfortunately, it is slightly damaged. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a bit wrecked on the outside, which isn't that much of a problem, but I do like to keep boxes of stuff that have value. And I mean, there's no beef with the seller. It's probably fine inside, but the outside is a bit wrecked, but never mind. So we'll take the sleeve off, put that to one side, and here's the big reveal. You ready? Oh, to the other side. Here's the big reveal. There it is. Oh, it's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Let's take it out. There it is. Podcast Pro. In red, of course, my favourite colour. Let's check it out. So here it is. Everything you're hearing now is me talking directly into the Podcast Pro from Sontronics. As you can see, I'm about 3 or 4 inches away from the microphone because as you get closer, the plosives really attack it and it don't sound that nice. So I recommend a kind of a 3 inches apart kind of distance. Who is this microphone aimed at? It is aimed at podcasters and people who talk into microphones. As the name suggests, Podcast Pro. Its main competitor is the Shure SM7B, which everyone knows and loves. Most podcasters use that microphone and people use it for tracking vocals as well, and I've seen people use it on guitar cabs. This microphone, I don't think is as multi-purpose as that. I think it was designed to just be talked into, and I think that's what it's best at. I've tried singing in it and it just doesn't sound, it doesn't react the same way that a microphone that's designed to be sang into does. It doesn't react the same way. So I do think this is just purely for recording your voice talking. So I've got some of the specifications for this microphone here. I'll whack them up on screen at the same time. So the polar pattern is supercardioid. Frequency response is 50 Hz to 15 kHz. Sensitivity is minus 50 dB to plus 2 dB. Impedance is 600 ohms. Connector 3.3 pin XLR. Power, phantom power is not required. Dimensions 180 by 82 by 60 millimeters, and the weight is 310 grams. Don't know what that means, if I'm honest. I kind of come from the background of I really like simple things. I like to just plug in and play. I don't like complicated audio or anything. I'm not as technical as a lot of people are. I really like the simplicity of stuff. And I think this is what this mic is. This mic is just designed for people who want to just get on with it, and don't want to mess about with it too much. All I've done for this is I've plugged the mic directly into the Focusrite Scarlett 2, into Logic. The gain is not even halfway. It's about 11 o'clock, and that's going into Logic. And as far as I can hear in the headphones, it sounds great. I guess you guys will hear what it really sounds like. Me and my girlfriend, who is also a musician, she's a great drummer, we are wanting to start a podcast at some point, and we didn't want to spend a lot on gear. So this microphone is perfect for us, really, because it is £99, which I think is a fantastic price for people who are definitely wanting to start getting into voiceover and podcast type stuff. But having said that, this is a very professional microphone. It's sturdy, it looks great. I mean, the red is awesome. So one little test I'm going to do here, I'm going to unplug this and I'm going to plug directly into a couple of other microphones that I have. Some are vocal mics and some are not, just to kind of give you a bit of a comparison as to what it sounds like. Again, I'm not going to touch the gain, I'm not going to mess with anything. I will have to put the phantom power on for one of them, but that's it. So this is still me talking into the Sontronics Podcast Pro. I'm now plugged into the AKG D7, which is my main mic for live gigs. Hopefully they'll be back soon. Remember live gigs? But just a quick comparison between this and the Podcast Pro. Next mic. I'm now plugged into the Rode NT1 condenser mic. You can tell it's probably a bit louder because, it's a condenser mic. I've probably got slightly too much gain on it for what it needs to be. But again, good comparison as to how it sounds. Last microphone that I've got is the Sennheiser E609, which is a guitar cab microphone, you probably would never use this for vocals, but it's just for the comparison of the Podcast Pro. How much wood could a woodchucker chuck if a woodchucker could chuck wood? How much wood could a woodchucker chuck if a woodchucker could chuck wood? How much wood could a woodchucker chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Okay, there we go. That was my review and unboxing of the Sontronics Podcast Pro. In conclusion, this mic, I think, is fantastic for the price. It's well built, it sounds good, and it is the perfect entry-level mic for anyone who wants to get into voiceover or podcasting or anything of that. I wouldn't recommend using it on anything else, really. I think it's not a one-trick pony. It could do the other things, but I think, it's designed to do a certain thing, and it does that one thing really well. If you were ever using this on a guitar, on like a guitar cab, I would say it wouldn't be like the main mic you would use. You'd have, your 6 or 9 and maybe a condenser mic and maybe a ribbon mic and maybe this one as well, just to kind of pick up another frequency or different frequencies. It wouldn't be the main mic you would use solely to pick up the sound of that cab. But all that being said, I'm well impressed with it. I really like it. I'm definitely going to be using it if and when I start a podcast. This wasn't a sponsored video, but shout out to Sontronics. You make some absolutely fantastic microphones. Big fan. But thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack. This has been the Podcast Pro, and I'll catch you on the next one.